Oh, sorry. Oh my God, yes. I was waiting, and then I got a text from a CSUB student. Um, and I just sat here for a long time. All right. So I'm going to read through this prompt uh, and kind of explain exactly the question we're being asked. And um, yeah, go over exactly what I'm looking for. So the centerpiece of our class thus far has been the question, are we obligated to suspend judgment in the face of peer disagreement? In her paper, Persistent Disagreement, Kathleen Eaglin makes the case that this question is misleading. Instead of attempting to answer this question, she proposes a new understanding of the conversation, where we are not obligated to place irrational blame on each other during disagreement. But how does this approach really change the conversation? Oh, but does this approach really change the conversation? In this assignment, you will need to answer the question, does Eaglin's account of disagreement and belief formation solve our original question? Our argument will be scored according to the following paper structure. Topic engagement. Show me you have understand, thought hard about the question, effectiveness of argument. Assignment is to be submitted via Canvas Friday at noon. So by Friday this noon, you guys should all give given me a formal analysis for this. Yeah. Yeah. So this is going to be only a formal analysis. We have probably, well, we just don't have long left, and I don't know. Yeah, I've had a ton of convos with a few students from this class, but just my classes in general, just about how hard of a time they're having. I'm sure most of it's true. I'm sure some of it's BS. But I really want this class to end well on the Fumerton paper. This Fumerton, or as one of my colleagues here at BC told me who studied under him, his name is Fumerton, he says. If Fumerton or Fumerton, I'm going to call him. Yeah, this paper is going to be, this is, I don't want to say it's the most important paper in the book. I think Kelly's is probably more important, and I think that Van Inwagen's is more important. But this is going to be the clearest riddle in the book, and it's also going to be, I think, the hardest riddle in the book. Yeah, that's going to be an upwards of a 7.5-page paper, right? And I really want you guys to do well. And also, our formal analysis really suck. I mean, they don't suck. They're just not as good as it could be. I want you guys to think about it as all the points for this paper are going to be dished out by percentage that you get on this formal analysis. So if you get a 90% of this formal analysis, you get 100% for the formal analysis points, and then you get a 90% for the paper, right? So, man, you really have to give me a clear and distinct, well-organized, well-thought-out, formal analysis for the Elgin paper. What do I mean by clear? So this is something I got asked by Jocelyn yesterday, right? I think, let me see, what did I say to you, Jocelyn? Let me see. Where are you? Okay. So what I don't want, if you guys give me a formal analysis where you go, right? Remember, the pressure is on with the FA, with the formal analysis, right? Yeah, it's on. I'm trying to scare you guys a little bit, but it's going to be easier. I'm going to grade a little easier because you can't say as much. It's going to be an easier assignment, but it needs to be a tough assignment. For like a P1, if you're going to argue that So usually I've been getting formal analysis like these, and this is like actually kind of been okay, but for this assignment, it's not going to be. Right. Define epistemic peers. Right. So in an intro paragraph, first I will give a definition of epistemic peers. That was totally okay, and this is why I kind of allow this, but this is more of an outline. Like part one is just going to, but remember in the formal analysis, we're showing for an argument. Instead of just saying, I'm going to define epistemic peerhood, give a definition. Epistemic peers are ... And at this point, I mean, you don't need to define epistemic peers, right? It should already be said. Yeah. So if you want to say that, like, let's say you want to answer our topic question with this conclusion. Catherine Eaglin's theory of beliefs add nothing to the conversation, or nothing to the issue of disagreement. Yeah. This is a super clear definition or conclusion, right? And I set myself up for super specific premises. Adds nothing or does not add anything, right? So maybe for P1, I would say something as clear and specific as this. Elgin argues, or Elgin states, that belief formation is out of our control. Okay, that is clear. And then you can give sub-premises for why she says this, right? Beliefs are not things we choose for ourselves. And then you can even give an A1.1. And why would that be? Right? And then boom, just give something really concise. That's definitely going to be the hard part. And then what would P2 be? Right? Eaglin states that acceptance of ideas are in our control. And then what? Look, a P2, or a PA2. Why does she say that? Yeah, you can either give like a real quick example, keep it within a sentence, right? This is the tough part, keep it within a sentence. I don't want a bullet point Wikipedia page. I want sentence arguments, right? And then P3, right? I don't want to give you a P3 because then I do the whole assignment for you, right? But something super clear like that, yeah? Something, I shouldn't say super clear. Something that is completely argued in the formal analysis, right? And so just a quick heads up for anyone who's like super paying attention, right? if acceptance is in our control, then belief must be in our control. Right? That was the sort of rejection I gave earlier. Yeah. And what were my reasons for that? Well, you can go back and watch that video. And if 1, 2, and 3 are true, then yeah, she adds nothing to the conversation. Okay, Jocelyn, I'm unsure about something. If I'm unsure about something, I can send you a picture and see if it's good. Yes, you can. So you can reach out for help. You guys can reach out and text me, call me, Canvas message me. Emails are gonna. I mean, I check them like once or twice a day, so they're not as fast as the other ones. There's other methods, but yeah, you can reach out to me, but I will not. So these last few sections, and we'll see how this assignment goes. Probably not the next one either, or probably not this last paper either. But I will be. I will not be doing what I did on the last 2 papers, where I get the formal analysis, and if something just doesn't click, in order to like be efficient between us and kind of show you guys exactly what kind of an argument I'm looking for in the formal analysis, I just sent you an example, or I took what you wrote and I kind of got what you were trying to say, and then I formalized it for you. Yeah, I won't be given such a detailed help this time. Right. Especially because you guys are kind of like, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is like you guys are swimming in the deep end on your own a little bit. Yeah, don't stress. The whole point of us doing the formal analysis only, I mean, as the paper, is to get practice doing formal analysis. Well, that's like my intellectual justification for doing it. But also just so that you guys aren't, yeah, I don't know, man. I feel it's an odd situation you guys are in. You know, it's a really odd situation you guys are in. And by now, you guys should be able to say substantial stuff, and like real content with your formal analysis. So let's see it, right? Let's put it to work, right? Let's put a case together for or against Eaglin, just like we would in a court of law, right? Okay. Any other questions? So real quick, while you guys may be typing, in favor of Eaglin, right? Remember, Eaglin's entire argument is ought implies can. So if I ought to change my beliefs, that implies that I can change my beliefs. Since I can't change my beliefs are involuntary, then the question about whether or not I ought to do it is a ridiculous question. Yeah. This would make a very good P1, P2, and given P1 and P2, right? Our convo, our debate about peer disagreement is misguided. I'll just put that one. Yeah. But you have to tell me why ought means can. You have to give me reasons why I should believe that I'm not in control with over my beliefs. And you have to be able to explain to me why these two give me P3 and why P3 would then give me this conclusion right here. Right. So just put an A3 right there. Yeah, you'd have to give me something like that. Yeah. That is the easiest one to do, and that is found. That should be found within chapter 5. Yeah. You can even add another P in there, something like the disagreement talk makes the assumption that we are in control of our beliefs, right? And if I ought to, right, then I'm in control. Since I'm not, but I'm not in control. So actually, that's a redundant P right there. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? This is due by noon on Friday. Sent to me through Canvas. Canvas, please. All right. Someone in here can't get on Canvas or doesn't see things in Canvas. Okay. So, Marivelle, are you still in here? Anyways, Marivelle, if you see this, I hope when you sent your paragraph to me about, okay, I asked you guys to answer the thesis question already. You said I don't really understand what the question is getting at. Does the question make more sense now? Not does the reading, but does the question make more sense? Is the suspension belief question a misguided one, or is it making a mistake? Not really. Okay, so okay. In section 5, she says, that I ought to do something. If I'm asking whether or not I ought, yeah, okay. I'm going to try to reword it right now, okay? If this is, so giving her response to this question will hopefully make sense of the question I'm asking, okay? Because I'm essentially asking if she is correct. If I'm asking a question about whether I ought to do something, like I ought to suspend or continue my belief, so I ought to be, so B, right, B of O, right? Then that is going to make the necessary assumption that I must be in control or that I can do this thing that I ought to do. So if I ought to suspend belief, that presupposes that I can suspend belief. She, and I know you get this part, Marivelle. She argues that you cannot do that. So it must mean that it cannot be true that you ought to do anything with your belief. Since the question in our textbook or in the class so far has been about whether or not we should do anything, when in fact we cannot do anything, the entire conversation is making a mistake. The entire conversation is misguided. Whether or not I should suspend belief in the face of peer disagreement is an irrelevant question. It's an irrelevant question. Now, the prompt for our class The prompt from our class says, okay, let's see here. Does Eaglin's account of disagreement and belief formation solve the question? Right. Is she right that I can't do anything about what I ought to do? Right. Is the whole conversation a complete farce? Is it an impossible conversation to have about what I ought to do? Well, I can't ought to do anything. Why? Because there's nothing I can do about what I believe. Yeah. Does that make more sense? How about Elizabeth and Abigail? Does this make sense for you guys if you guys are here? A little. Okay. That is better than not really. Actually, that sounds pretty gosh dang close. Abigail and a little. God damn it. Yes, a little. Okay, Abigail. Are you still living at a little also? Okay. Okay. I suggest you guys let's just take a break from the video. Like literally like don't do anything today. Like forget the conversation happened and then try to like remember what we talked about today and see if that like awakens just like a new way of saying in your head what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. Like you'll have a new sentence for my question. Yeah. A new way to ask my question. Yeah, that means the same as what I'm asking. That's even more complicated. Yeah. Okay, you guys. I'm going to have to get off at a little and a teeny bit. Right? That's going to be good enough for me. Right? I need and hold on. Marivelle, you're using too big of words for me. Hold on. Oh, an epiphany. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Yes, and yes, an epiphany. There we go. There we go. That's a reading disability. Yes, I know the word epiphany very well. Yeah, and Elizabeth, yes, you do need to practice it like a math problem. Yeah, 100%. And Elizabeth, you are a logic vet, so you will kind of get that, right? Okay. So if you guys like all message me and say, hey, like I still don't understand what's going on, then I should be able to go live again and just like have a talk without the reading. Yeah. Okay. I will see you guys later. Thank you to the mods for today. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'll see you later. Thanks for jumping in here. I really appreciate it. It makes it like bearable for me to get on here and do this. Okay, and then I actually like talking this stuff. So, okay, some really smart F. Don't put F in it. What are you guys effing in the chat for? That's not cool, man. Oh, wait. Okay. F for respect. Thank you, Elizabeth. F for my not understanding of it. Yes, I know what F for respect. Man, I was actually alive playing those games, playing the F for respect game. Okay. I'll see you guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna host Tifu on Fortnite, and I will see you guys later.